I'm so excited for this video. Hello everybody, welcome back to this corner of the internet. My name is Bethany. I am a book reader, high school teacher, lifestyle vlogger, and this video specifically, as you can obviously tell, we are bringing back the Wheel Chooses TBR series. It was put on hold for, say, your PlayStation controller. Okay, if we hear whistles, Titus is playing FIFA behind where you guys are. This was put on hold for a little bit just because I didn't have a wheel, and then I found one on Amazon that doesn't take up heaps of space. Look how cute this is. If you are new here, Wheel Chooses TBR is my fun way of choosing my next pile of TBR books, TBR to be read, my TBR pile. I do not do them monthly because I find the stress of a timeline, the deadline very stressful. So what I do is I choose 8 books using prompts that this wheel is going to spin for me. So don't expect these monthly. They're often actually like sometimes, wow, that was really bad grammar, I'm too excited. Sometimes they're less than a month. Sometimes they're like, it takes me a month and a half to get through 8 books. So just putting that out there if you are new here. But I'm just going to delve straight into putting on some of the prompts. I do have them on these clear post-it notes. I've got like over 30 prompts on here, and I have taken some of your suggestions. If you have any suggestions on prompts, please let me know. But I really want to get into this, so we're going to load these up. All right, we have translated text. Next up, random pile. Wrong time, try again. So sometimes I get books out from the library and I'll start them and I'm not in the mood to finish them, and so I have a little shelf on Goodreads called Wrong Time, Try Again, and that's what that pile means. Own voices, as in the author is writing about characters who are their same like cultural identity. Second chance author, so maybe like an example of that for me would be Colleen Hoover. I've only read one of her books, I didn't like it. I could give her a second chance. Random. They're all layered up on each other. Genre generator, a classic. So if I land on that, I have to find a genre generator online as well. An anthology collection. Ooh, I'm trying to go through like each mini pile I have. Alphabet challenge. So I'm currently doing a challenge where I need to get a book that starts with I need to read 26 books, and each of those books needs to start with a different letter of the alphabet, not counting the word the. Okay, libraries hot pick. At my local library, there's a shelf called Hot Picks, and it's a selection of about 12 novels that if you issue them out, you need to read them in the space of 1 week. A 500 plus pager. Okay. Series sequel. An ebook from my library's trending books list. And lastly, published within the past 2 years. This is so cute. I'm so excited. Also, a heads up, if this is your first time seeing one of these videos, I am a proud library goer. So what will happen is I'll spin these now, get the prompts, and I'll head to a library, and then editing me will like edit in whatever book it is that I'm able to find, because I can't just go to a bookshelf and be like, oh, this one fits the prompt. It's hugely dependent on what the library has available. I also have these 2 books from the library. If you have seen my excited for book new releases for the quarter of January, February, March, what I actually did is once I filmed that video, I went into my library and put a hold on every book that I was able to. And as they're coming in, I'm picking them up from the library. So hopefully the wheel spins prompts that I can add these books to. Otherwise, I'll just share the books with you at the end of the video and add them to the 8 spins. Okay, I'm gonna try and get this to focus on the wheel. Let's just do it. Okay, spin number 1. Ooh, it's a good spin. Okay, can you stop now? Stop. A library's hot pick. Okay, I'll take you with me to the library to see what they have available for me. I need to get something from this shelf. That's what the wheel chose. Oh, I've been handed one. That looks like it's part of the You series. I haven't read the first one yet.
We'll just read them.
But
Skip a few.
I can't skip a few. I want to go with this one. Yep. All right, as you guys saw from that clip, I ended up with Matt Haig's The Life Impossible. I have read Matt Haig's The Invisible Library, and I actually didn't like it very much, but I know a lot of people like his writing, so I kind of wanted to give him a second chance, maybe see if is the author's writing style I don't like, or if it was just that story. Personally, I picked up this one out of the other ones on that shelf because when I opened it, I learned that this is about a maths teacher. As a teacher myself, I thought it would be interesting to read a story about a teacher that isn't like set in a romance, because I hate that sort of thing, like when the teachers fall in love with their like students. I don't mind it as much when it's university, but I mean, I'm getting sidetracked now. Anyway, this book isn't like that. This is about retired math teacher Grace. She has left a rundown house on a Mediterranean island by a long-lost friend, and she gets really curious, so she ends up arriving in Ibiza with a one-way ticket, and she basically just explores it. Among the rugged hills and golden beaches of the Balearics, Grace searches for answers about her friend's life and how it ended. So I'm kind of intrigued because it sounds like mystery as well. The library actually hasn't determined for me what genre this is, which also makes me kind of intrigued. Basically, Grace has to dive into an impossible truth and must come to terms with her own past. And also, side note, there's a tiny map down here. So all of those reasons are why I picked up this one. And I do have to read it in 1 week. So after I finish my current reading vlog, actually, which you would have already seen, it's my Buzzwordathon reading, I'm going to get straight into this book. So that is the first book in my TBR pile. All right, library hot pick. I'm going to add like down here so I don't pick the same prompt twice, like accidentally in a row. We'll just pick a random one. LGBTQIA+, so it needs to have a focus on a gay or a trans or a like LGBTQIA+ person is like the main character. All right, spin number 2. I did not learn my lesson and spin any less hard, apparently. Published within the past 2 years. Okay. I'm going to head over to my Goodreads account and see what I've got. Wait, I was just typing that in. I had a brainwave. That can totally be one of these 2 books. Okay, but I don't want to like... It could technically be both of these books because they're both new releases, but I don't want to choose one and then it doesn't work for like another prompt that potentially comes up. So I'm going to wait till all my spins are done. Why am I so stressed? I love this game, but it causes so much stress sometimes. Not stress, excitement. You know, like excited panic. All right, for this one, I am going to use one of the books I had already gotten out. This is Watermoon. Now, before I actually tell you what this book is about, this is also going to be my double whammy for the Buzzwordathon challenge. The title is like water words. Girl, I got the word actual water in the title. And then the cover challenge is a horizon. And there is very, very clearly a horizon here. So this is Watermoon. It fits the wheel because it has definitely been published in the last 2 years. In fact, it was published on the 14th of January 2025. So I'm pretty certain that I'm the first person to read this because the like library plastic covering is not cracked in the slightest, and like the page like some of the pages are still doing that thing where they stick together a bit. So I am very blessed. In terms of what this is about, and yes, I read off the blurb. I admire booktubers who can just remember what books are about. This is set in the backstreet of Tokyo, and in this backstreet there lies a pawn shop, but not everyone can find it. Most will only see a cozy ramen restaurant, and just the chosen ones, the ones who are lost, will find a place to pawn their life choices and deepest regrets. Hana Ishikawa wakes on her first morning as the pawn shop's new owner to find it ransacked, the shop's most precious acquisition stolen, and her father is missing. And then into the shop stumbles a charming stranger, quite unlike other customers, for he offers help instead of seeking it. Together, they must journey through a mystical world to find Hannah's father and the stolen choice, through rain puddles, hitching rides on paper cranes, across the bridge between midnight and morning, and through a night market in the clouds. But as they get closer to the truth, Hannah must reveal a secret of her own and risk making a choice she will never be able to take back. This was one of my most anticipated reads. I mentioned it in one of my videos at the beginning of the year. This gives me the vibes of The Starless Sea, if you've ever read that novel by... She also wrote The Night Circus. It's one of my favourite books ever. How have I forgotten the author? But it gives me Starless Sea vibes with like this magical stuff going on in the background. So that's the second book. All right, next one. Banned book. That's pretty topical at the moment, actually. All right, spin number 3. Ooh, alphabet challenge. Okay, editing me is going to go in and add all the books I've already got on my alphabet challenge and see what I can fill in with the blanks. So here is my alphabet all filled in. You will note I do not have a book for the letter S. So I am going with Anna Huang's The Striker. Actually quite similarly to Matt Haig, whom I read a book from and didn't love. I also read Anna Huang's, is it Twisted Love? If that's not the first one in the series, the first one in that series. And I didn't like that either. So I am intrigued enough to pick up her latest book. So this is book 1 in a series. And this ultimately, it's a sports romance with football and ballet, I believe. So Asher Donovan is a living legend, the darling of the Premier League, so football, soccer, the greatest footballer in the world, but his reckless behaviour and recent transfer have become a bit of a PR nightmare. When a feud with his rival turned teammate costs them the championship, the pair are forced to bond during off-season training. Surviving the summer shouldn't be hard until Asher meets their new trainer. She's beautiful, talented, and no matter how hard he tries, he can't take his mind off her. The only problem? She's his rival's sister and completely off limits. Bom, bom, bom. Multiple POV. Scarlett Dubois is a former prima ballerina whose career was cut short by a tragic accident. Now a teacher at a prestigious dance academy, but still haunted by the ghosts of her past. The last thing she wants is to spend the summer cross-training Asher Donovan. She swore she would never date a footballer again, but when she's thrown into dangerously close proximity with the gorgeous, charming striker, all bets are off. I will admit, this one is definitely thicker than I imagined it to be when I put it on hold, because Twisted Love was decently slimmer. This is almost 600 pages. And for any clarification potentially required for the alphabet challenge, I do not count the word the or the word like a in the title at the beginning. That one is now being replaced with familiar author. So for me, this means simply it's an author whom I've read from before. It actually keeps it pretty open-ended because I could totally choose like a sequel. I could choose like a favorite author. Maybe I want to give an author a second chance, like I am technically familiar with their work. So that's a pretty good one. Okay, spin number 4, halfway. I don't know what my face just did. Okay. I'm also just throwing it out there. I know some people who do similar games and TBR challenges. If it lands on the same colour, you have to add a book. I don't like the idea of penalties. This is just meant to be a fun game. So we're not doing any of that. The prompt for this one is LGBT. I've already explained what that prompt means. I'm going to find one. All right, for my LGBT pick, I have gone with The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. She also wrote Red, White and Royal Blue, which I remember reading and giving 5 stars. So this is another romance. So The Pairing by Casey McQuiston is about 2 bisexual exes. Theo and Kit have been a lot of things: childhood best friends, crushes, in love, and now exes. After a brutal breakup on the transatlantic flight to their dream European food and wine tour, they exited each other's lives once and for all. Time apart has done them good. Theo has found confidence as a hustling bartender by night and aspiring sommelier, the fancy wine person. Sommelier, thank you. Sommelier by day, with a long roster of casual lovers. Kit, who has never returned to America, graduated as the reigning sex god of his pastry school class. That feels like a weird sentence. And now bakes at one of the finest restaurants in Paris. Sure enough, nothing really compares to what they had, and life stretches out long and lonely ahead of them. But yeah, it's in the past. All that remains is the unused voucher for the European tour that never happened, a good 48 months after its original date and about to expire. 4 years later, it seems like a great idea to finally take this trip solo, but then they meet each other again. Yeah, I'm excited about this. It's still summer, it's still warm. This is the season that I really enjoy romances. Just something about the sunshine and reading a light-hearted romance makes me happy. If I didn't clearly specify, by the way, that's an ebook. I couldn't find the physical copy at my libraries in time. Well, I could find them, but they're on hold, and I would be like the 30th in the queue, so I found an ebook. All right, and that one is being replaced with whatever this is. A backlist book. Okay, to me, a backlist book is anything in the space of like 5 years in the past onwards. It's not like a new-ish release. It's like, yeah, half a decade in the past. Spin, okay, number 5. Ooh, this is so satisfying. Yes, get it, wheel. Does it like that colour more than the other colours? I am wondering. I don't see how it... Okay, backlist book. I've kind of shocked myself with my own pick for this. Backlist book. Not only did I go 5 years in the past and prior, I went 1960s. Can you guess? I went 1960s. The title has a bird in it. It's considered a classic, and as an English teacher, I should probably have read this before in my lifetime. That's right, To Kill a Mockingbird. I cannot explain why, but I am curious to read this novel, and I feel like it's a rite of passage for all English teachers to have read To Kill a Mockingbird. This is about a lawyer's advice to his children as he defends the real... Wait, no, that's not what it's about. Is it? Mm-hmm. Wait, have you read this? Mm-hmm. Did you have to read it for school? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. A lawyer's advice to his children as he defends the real Mockingbird of Harper Lee's classic novel, a black man charged with the rape of a white girl. Through the young eyes of Scout and Jem Finch, Harper Lee explores with exuberant humour. Wait, is there humour in this?
I didn't think so.
Okay. The irrationality of adult attitudes to race and class in the deep south of the 1930s, the conscience of a town steeped in prejudice, violence and hypocrisy, is pricked by the stamina of one man's struggle for justice, but the weight of history will only tolerate so much. I was actually just flicking through this before, and I'm so intrigued by the foreword that Harper Lee wrote in 1993. Basically, he said, "Please don't ever give this novel an introduction. As a reader, I hate them. When they're put on a novel, I associate introductions with long-gone authors and works that are being brought back into print after decades of interment. Introductions inhibit pleasure, they kill the joy of anticipation, they frustrate curiosity." I just find that fascinating alongside this book. So this is my pick for my backlist book, which is being replaced with this one. Oh, pretty cover. I want to, hang on. I'm going, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of this from the beginning? I've got like a little coffee table here. Look, why did I not think of this? Ah, my mum got me this for Christmas. I need to make it. Is that going to be okay? All right, let's try this. This one is for spin number 6. Ooh. Oh, there's a noise to it now. Genre generator. Okay, I thought it was going to be like the same one down here. This wheel is all pink and red, but that's okay. Genre generator. Genre? Genre. Genre. It's not genre. I know that one's wrong. All right. Genre. Generator. This is where I get my tablet up. And then go away. And then I go Google. Google. Do I expose myself here? What did I last look up? Vietnamese summer rolls. They were quite good. Oh, okay. Hang on. We've got one and it has a lot more options. We've got dystopian, superhero, scary, thriller, suspense, western, action. Okay. Can I make it? Oh, big screen. Okay, here we go. Ready? Set. What the heckaroonie does techno mean? What does techno mean? I'm going to have to do some research. What do books even mean? Does it just mean technology? Oh, okay. You often get techno thrillers, which is a hybrid genre drawing from science fiction and thrillers. Techno genre book recommendations. Come on, Google. Oh, popular techno books through Goodreads. Hang on. Oh, an unexpected error. Goodreads has decided not to teach me about techno books, so we're just going to figure that one out later. I'll be back. Okay, techno genre. I did a bit more digging and I found a list on Goodreads that with the suggestions. And as I was going through that list, I realized I actually had 2 novels on there that were already on my personal want to read lists, and they are Dark Matter and Project Hail Mary. I currently have both of them on hold at the library, on the multiple libraries I'm a part of, and the ebooks. However, I'm not yet sold on either of these, so I'm just throwing it out there. If you're watching this and you have any suggestions, please let me know. Basically, I learned that the techno genre is considered anything with like technology being a central focal part. I could also read the 3rd book in the Illuminae series, potentially, because it does have like a computer system in it. So I'm just throwing it out there. I actually am a bit stuck on this one, partially because I don't feel like I'm in the mood for any of these books, and I'm a huge mood reader. But if you have any suggestions, especially like novellas, please let a girl know. 2 more spins. That one is being replaced with a complete freebie. Okay. Spin number 7. Oh my gosh, it's not red or pink. Thank you. Series sequel. This is so good. I've mentioned it in my previous TBR video that I'm really wanting to knock off some sequels I have on like my list of ongoing books, of ongoing series. So I wonder what one I should do. Do I do a series where I've only got 1 book left in the series and I can completely complete a series? Or do I do one where it's like the second to last book? Or even the 2nd book? I've got options. I've got a lot of series on the go. Okay, I'm actually really excited about this. I have gone for Jennifer L. Armentrout's A Soul of Ash and Blood. Yeah, it's another romantasy. But to be fair, I don't have any on my shelf for this round of TBRs. And so when I say another, I mean the fact that I've just finished reading Onyx Storm and I've done a whole ACOTAR reread, like all 5 books in the series. But I still want to be in this space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so this is actually book 5 in the series. Now, I will admit, I can't remember much of what happened in book 3 and 4 because I remember reading book 3 and 4 when they were the last ones in the series left. So, and I think I read those like 2 years ago. So I definitely need to do some jogging of my memory. I'm just checking the information right now. This is also book 5 with book 6 coming out June this year. So it might be good to... Well, it will be good to read this and then be able to keep up to date with the series as it gets published. Now, obviously, I can't tell you much about this book in particular because it will spoil the entirety of the series, but the first book in the series is explained as there being a maiden, chosen from birth to usher in a new era. Poppy's life has never been her own. The life of a maiden is solitary, never to be touched, never to be looked upon, never to be spoken, all of this, X, Y, Z. The choice has never been hers. Then there's the duty. The entire kingdom's future rests on Poppy's shoulders, something she's not even quite sure she wants for herself, because a maiden has a heart, a soul, and longing. And when Hawk, a golden-eyed guard, honor bound to ensure her ascension, enters her life, destiny and duty become tangled with desire and need. He makes her angry, he makes her question everything, and he tempts her with the forbidden. Then there's the kingdom. I feel like you guys get the gist of this by now. I am actually wondering if it's worth me rereading, but they're not small books. Like, this is actually hefty. This is 500 pages. So if I was to reread the previous 4 books, that's a 2,000 page reread. So, but I kind of am in the mood to do a reread of the first ones. I don't know. Consider A Soul of Blood and Ash my series sequel, but also consider that I might decide to reread this series as well. All right, the last pull is mystery. So I've given myself a genre here. Okay, spin number 8, the final spin. That is like actually on the line, like on the black line. I think that's a respin. Okay, gonna make it the biggest spin yet. That's so like hypnotizingly. Oh my gosh, do not. That's leaning orange. That is leaning orange. We have the mystery. Okay, again, quite broad, and some books span multiple genres. However, I am taking this as like the primary genre is mystery. So not like a thriller mystery, but maybe a mystery thriller. Do you know what I mean? All right, for my mystery, I have also decided to pick up a sequel in a series. I've gone for The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. By the way, this is Richard Osman. He's a comedian. He often comes up on talk shows and stuff, which I kind of didn't connect the dots, but I definitely recognised him. Anywho, this is book 2 in the How to Get Away with Murder. No, sorry, that's a TV show. The Thursday Murder Club series. This is a series about a group of elderly retired people who live in kind of like a fancy old folks home, and every Thursday they come together and solve closed cases, or like pretend to solve, try to solve. And then in the first book, they kind of get caught up in an actual murder mystery, and it's actually hilarious because the banter and the humour the elderly people have between each other is so top tier, but it's also just a really well written mystery. So this second book in this series follows Elizabeth, who is one of our main characters. They have received a letter from an old colleague, a man with whom she has a long history. Her old colleague has made a big mistake and he needs her help. His story involves stolen diamonds, a violent mobster, and a very real threat to his life. As bodies start piling up, Elizabeth enlists Joyce, Ibrahim, and Ron, so those are the other people in the Thursday Murder Club, in the hunt for a ruthless murderer. And if they find the diamonds too, well, wouldn't that be a bonus? But this time they are up against an enemy that wouldn't bat an eyelid at knocking off for septuagenarians. Can the Thursday Murder Club find the killer and the diamonds? I don't know, but I think that it's rare, at least in my experience in the books I read, to have elderly and older protagonists, and I just find the dynamic so fun to read about. You know what I mean? Okay. Now, whilst that was the last spin for me, I'm going to do a spin for you guys. So you guys are going to get, a random colour. So I'll find you a random colour generator, and that needs to be in your book cover. If you decide to play along with me, obviously you could have been doing the spins I've been doing, but this one is a special spin just for you. Just for you. You ready? Okay. If you do this, let me know what you choose down below in the comments. I love seeing what you guys are reading. It's one of the greatest ways for me to be exposed to new books. And you have, you actually can't do that one. You can't do that one. I don't know if you guys read ebooks, and if you do, if you have a library that has a trending page. That was the first one. If you do, that was the first one. But I think, yeah, that's leaning red. So you guys have pretty cover. So if you guys are playing along at home, pretty cover is your pick. And I just want to thank you. And I want to thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you are curious about what my thoughts and opinions are of whatever the heckaroonie books I managed to find at the library, please keep an eye out for the vlogs. I love vlogging, so I'll definitely talk about all my books in some sort of format on here. So keep an eye out. If there's a book you specifically want me to read, let me know down below, and I'll just make sure I definitely do that. Do that being creative vlog around it. Sometimes I do get really carried away with a vlog. Oh my gosh, I really do get carried away with a book, and I just finish it and don't make a huge effort to do little vlog updates. But if there's a book you specifically want me to talk about in more depth, please let me know and I'll be sure to do that. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I'm so excited for this series to be back. Enjoy all the places you go in your own reading and life adventures, and I will see you in the next one, because this series is never going anywhere. It's my favourite series of all time. All right, bye guys.